and I received a call from the Lord to go to a church called Lakeshore Evangelical Church in Dorval. And I was convinced this was from the Lord. And so Kath and I got married, and that's what we did. We went to Lakeshore Evangelical Church, and they paid me the princely sum of $25 a week. Even then, you couldn't live on it. I don't know what they were thinking. Mind you, a lot of churches think that preachers are really super spiritual who don't need to eat. They don't need to sleep. They don't even need a car. They just sort of miraculously transport it from one spot to the other, and they pay you accordingly. I inherited a youth group. I was there as a youth pastor of 15 kids who just loved to meet in the basement of the church, hiding out from the world. I'm 22 years of age. This is not good, I'm thinking. I got to get them out of this basement. So the first thing I did is I got them out of the basement into the local park where everybody was smoking up and dropping acid and doing speed, and it was a real drug culture at that time. You go to the local park there, and I mean, everybody's stoned. One guy could sort of play the guitar, and I said, bring the guitar, we'll sing a song or two, and then I'll do some Bible teaching. And we would sit on the grass. Well, I mean, all these kids are stoned, hey man, what's happening? And before you knew it, I had all these kids joining the circle of these 15 little uptight evangelicals. Things began to loosen up a bit. Slowly but surely, over the course of the next 2 months, our youth group grew from 15 to 150 kids who committed their lives to Christ. It was phenomenal. And this growth was all in that culture of kids who were stoned. There was this one guy more stoned than the rest. Like, he didn't even need drugs anymore. He's just out of it. He had a hard time putting words together. And his eyes were kind of sleepy, and good-looking guy, sweet guy, and his name was Chuck. And I had as much hope, I thought, for him as I did for anybody else, because we're all works of grace. But frankly, I figured this guy needs more than grace. He needs to die and be resurrected or something. I mean, he's in big, big trouble. I thought he was maybe beyond the pale in terms of his ability to recover. There was a family in the church that took him in for a year and a half. And all Chuck did, basically, was sleep and eat and come to church. And I was amazed at the patience of this woman who allowed him to do this. Because he wasn't working. But I realized that what he was doing, he was healing. Years later, he contacted me. I think it was at Huntley Street, the old Huntley Street downtown. He wanted to see me. So Kathy was with me, and Chuck arrives for the appointed lunch, and he's got a wife with him. I was really amazed at this. Chuck has a wife. And a beautiful, intelligent wife with a doctorate, and a ballet teacher, just totally sharp. And Chuck is looking totally sharp. His eyes are open. His mind is clear. He can put more than 2 words together. I find out he's Sony Corporation's top salesman in Canada. Old things have passed away. All things have become new in Chuck's life. And guess what? Aaron Weaver is his son, who's leading us into the heavenlies. Get out. Obey the call of God. You have no idea what it's going to produce.